What's up, guys? Full Gore here. Today we're going to talk about Jax, the Grandmaster at Arms. Probably my favorite jungler, who I forgot about for some reason. So let's just get through his abilities as quickly as possible and try to figure out how they work. Passive, Relentless Assault. Every time he deals a basic attack, his attack speed will increase. So the more basic attacks he deals, the faster his attack speed will be. A very useful passive, especially for somebody like Jax. His Q, Leap Strike. He leaps, he strikes. Alright, moving on. His W is called Empower. It empowers his next basic attack, and it deals a lot of damage, actually. It scales a lot up with AP. Counter Strike. Let's go. Counter Strike. He will do that, and then he will dodge basic attacks, and then he will stun the target when the cast time is over. R, Grandmaster's Might. Every third strike, I believe. Yes, every third strike, he will deal extra damage. So it's going to look like that. And on top of that, when you activate it, it increases your armor and magic resist. Now, Jax is pretty basic, as you can see. I mean, mechanically, he's not that complicated. What's going to make you or break as a good Jax player is the way in which you combine and use your abilities. Now, I'm going to focus on jungling because, I mean, Jax top is really good. He's a great duelist, but, you know, top is kind of boring at times. And I'd rather jungle. I feel like junglers have a lot of impact on a team, especially because they do important ganks and help the team out. So I guess that's why I like jungling. So things worth noting about his abilities. First of all, Leap Strike and Empower. You know what? I'm just going to call him by Q, W, E. You know, just stay with me, okay? Leap Strike. If you Leap Strike to a target, Q. If you Q towards a target, immediately activate W and deal the basic attack, you will deal a lot of damage. And as a rule of thumb, as Jax, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to trigger the passive on your ultimate as much as possible. And you can do that by doing the Leap Strike, the W, basic attack, there you go. It's that simple. That's what the majority of Jax players do. That's how you trigger his ultimate, that's how you do you know, the most damage. However, you can actually, stay with me on this one, this is gonna blow your freaking mind. You can actually use Empower and then Leap Strike for extra damage. Now, the damage is not as much as both abilities separate. And you might be wondering, Full Gore, why would I do such a thing? What do I have to gain in those cases? I'll tell you, stranger that has a very sarcastic voice. What you have to do in those instances is very simple. When a target is low health, you could potentially Leap Strike towards them and then empower your next basic attack to finish him off. However, what's going to happen is that target might flash away and you might not catch up with them. What? I know. It's sad. It's heartbreaking when that happens. So, what can you do? I know what you can do. W into Q. It will deal extra damage and it's almost instant. You will just execute that enemy. It would suck if you don't have enough damage to finish him off. But then again, like I said, it's heartbreaking when you leap towards a target, you activate your W, and they just flash away. So it's worth noting, even if you don't use it, you have to at least recognize that you have the potential to do that. That being said, his E. Now, his E is a pain. It's a great ability. It's awesome when you're fighting this and that, and you might be asking, why do you say it's a pain, dude? The freaking Jax's E is amazing. It's a pain to use and a pain to get used to. You would think being a basic ability, you could just like pick it up right away. And don't get me wrong, some of you might just look at this video and go, huh, yeah, I got this. Yeah, it takes time to get used to. First of all, it dodges basic attacks, and when the cast time is over, it deals the damage. However, just like Leap Strike, people can flash away. So, what can you do? You have the option to just cancel the cast time and stun them right away. That's awesome. That's really good. However, you will not suck up as many basic attacks, therefore you will not deal back as much damage. You're saying you're getting, you know where I'm going with this. This shit's this shit gets very convoluted. So, you have to have really good reaction times. On top of that, there's another use for the E. You can trigger your E inside a bush or chasing a target, and then leap strike towards them, stunning them as you, like that, stunning them, and then immediately trying to deal damage. This doesn't sound hard, people. I understand that. It's not me being a stuck-up bitch about it or anything, but it takes time to get used to. You know, don't expect if you haven't played Jax or a character like Jax, don't expect to pick it up right away. You know, practice makes perfect. You gotta develop the reaction time to cancel your E, and you gotta develop the timing, because the timing on between the stun and the leap strike kind of takes some time to get used to. But other than that, the E is a great ability, and it's really good to initiate. In a team like this, where we have no set tank, I will be the one who initiating. So, you know, take your time. With Jax, take your freaking time and practice your E. Like right here, I activated it too quick, trying to jump on Talon, and I scared him away. Now, one thing worth noting, the E is an area of effect stun. So right there, what happened with Talon, what I should have done is trigger the E and jump onto a minion, and maybe that would have stunned him. But for some reason I didn't. Okay, look at this. This is just retarded. I noticed when I was recording. I'm trying to get my red. Trundle is going to do a fill smite, and I'm going to smite on top of his smite, creating smiteception. And I'm not even going to notice what happened. I just kept playing the game, and then I watched this video, and it was such a beautiful fail that I just had to put it in. I just had to highlight this. Tristana is gonna die, unfortunately. However, I am gonna go ahead and how do you say? Right, rape Ashe, and then me and Nunu are gonna proceed to slowly drain Trundle's health. He's gonna come back for no reason at all, and he's gonna get even more damage onto him. And if it wasn't for the fact that he picked up Flash, he would have been freaking dead. Yeah. See you later, Lux. So, I think I've talked about Jax enough, like his abilities. I think we should move on to build. Now, Jax can be built hybrid, he can be built AP, and he can be built AD. I am gonna go ahead and say that hybrid Jax is the best out of the three. You could argue otherwise, and perhaps you might be right. However, hybrid Jax brings a lot of utility to a team. AD Jax is just freaking amazing. I mean, there's no question about that. AD Jax just owns. However, hybrid Jax brings a lot to the table. He brings the AP damage, which is very good on his W, and the AD damage, which is really good overall. And his passive and ultimate are just incredible. So what that does is it really messes with the enemy team, because if they have magic resist, you're just dealing damage with your AD ability, with your basic attacks or whatever. And if they have armor, you're just dealing magic damage. So Jax sort of becomes this champion that can deal damage either way. It's really good. And right here, once again, I completely failed. I thought Annie pinged Talon, and I assumed she was gonna stun him. However, I kind of jumped the gun, and that was totally my bad. So when it comes to build, Jax is not one of, there are freaking, oh my god, I'm just embarrassing myself at this point. There are champions that have a set build. So there are champions that no matter what, they always have the same build. But Jax is a champion that adjusts to the enemy team. He's just that good and that flexible. Jax is just incredible when it comes to that stuff. I like to go specifically when I'm jungling and I'm sort of taking up the role of tank, and I'm gonna be sucking up a lot of damage. I like to go for a very durable Jax. My first item is that I go for is usually Vampiric Scepter, which I turn into a what do you call that? Wiggles Lantern. Just for the armor on top of my ultimate, give me more resistance, and just makes me more durable, and it makes me happy. Then Hexic Gunblade. Hexic Gunblade is Jax's main item. I know I just said that he adjusts to the enemy team, but this item is just like extremely strong on Jax. It's really good. And it also, the active ability of Hexa Gunblade also allows Jax to be even a better chaser, just because of the slow that ability brings. Boots. Usually you might want to go for Berserker's Greaves. However, if the enemy team has a lot of CC and magic, you might want to go for Merc Threads, or if they have a lot of AD, you want to go for Ninja Tabi. It really depends on what you're building. If you're building tanky Jax, Ninja Tabi, or Merc Threads. If you're going for a very damaging Jax, you go for Berserker's Greaves. And if you're feeling funky, you know what? Cooldown reduction. Fuck it. It can't harm. It can harm. That was a weird voice, by the way. Trinity Force, yeah, Trinity Force is awesome on Jax. Really, he's just that good. There are champions that do well with Trinity Force. However, Jax just shines when he has Trinity Force. It's really good on him, and overall, it's gonna make you deal a lot of damage in a very short period of time. An early Sheen on Jax will do wonders, believe it or not. And AP Jaxes usually pick up Lichbane, which will make Jax just freaking hard to deal with. You can also go if you feel like you need a tanky item, you could go potentially for a Warmogs, and if you have a build like right here, Trundle's gonna try to save Lux, but fuck you Trundle, I'm Jax. But if you have a build like me where you can just constantly heal, and I've tested this by the way, when you can just heal from AP abilities and your basic attacks and stuff, Spirit Visage is just incredible. Gives you the cooldown reduction and your heals from your spell vamp and your lifesteal. It's just hilarious. Really, you won't freaking die. Frozen Mallet is also a very strong item on AD Jax. It makes Jax even a better chaser than he already is. And if anything that helps you out, anything that makes you more durable, like a Guardian Angel, anything like that on Jax, it's just extremely strong. I mean, I've talked about this before. Every time you look at pentakill involving Jax, it's just like everybody trying to kill him, and he's just healing and taking no damage whatsoever. Jax is one of the few champions that doesn't need as many damaging items in order to deal a lot of damage. It's incredible. However, it is worth noting that you do need attack speed items on Jax. That way, you will be able to trigger your passive a lot faster, and you will be able to trigger the passive on your ultimate a lot faster. So, AP Jax, the classics, Malady, Nashor's Tooth. Hey Ash, what's up? If you're going AD Jax, Phantom Dancer, that type of stuff. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I guess I should. Phantom Dancer, Berserker's Greaves, another Phantom Dancer, and that's going to do the trick, believe it or not. That's just going to make you just incredible. However, I am going for a hybrid build, so I'm going to go ahead and build the Rage Blade late game, which is going to make me really strong. Now, another beautiful quality that Jax has is the ability to take down fortifications extremely rapidly. I mean, there are a couple of champions that can do it pretty well, Master Yi being like the prime example, but Jax is just so freaking amazing. He's just boom, boom, and freaking turret is gone. This makes him very useful. I mean, think about it. This champion scales with AD pretty well, by the way. Scales pretty well with AD. Scales pretty well with AP. He can be tanky. He has incredible chasing potential. He can jungle. He has crowd control. He can take down fortifications extremely fast. And he is so flexible in the build. Jax is probably one of the most, overall good champions. He's probably the most badass champion in the league at doing every fucking thing. It's just incredible, really. There's not a role. I have seen Jax support people. Jax can support. And just incredible at it too, by the way. Jax can do everything. Honestly, obviously, it'd be kind of a waste to have Jax support. But it's just so good. I mean, Jax is that one champion that every League of Legends player has. Hate him or love him, you fucking have him, you piece of shit, and you know it, and you love him. So Jax, Jax is just that good. He's I don't want to say he should be a recommended champion for new gamers, or like I guess new players to League of Legends. But if you've been playing the game for a couple months, give Jax a shot. You got nothing to lose. He's really good, and he doesn't mess around. His build is not incredibly complicated. I mean, I guess I'm making this video to promote Jax, but he's that good. Jax is just awesome. I forgot to mention one thing. How could I forget this? Leap Strike. I should have mentioned this a while ago. I apologize. I was very distracted by nonsense. Leap Strike can also, on top of dealing damage to the enemies, you can also Leap Strike to friendly units. This allows Jax to make quick escapes if necessary. And the other reason why you might want to pick up Wiggle's Lantern with Jax is so you can set down the ward over the wall or whatever and leap on top of it and run away. Ah, man, how could I forget such a... this is... God, I'm sorry. I feel like a retard. That's such a basic thing. I'm sorry. But yeah, you can do that on top of enemy units or friendly units. It's just freaking amazing. Now this is kind of interesting. I'm gonna go around. I have a feeling that somebody is doing something to the dragon, so I'm gonna ward. Now I could potentially leap strike to the ward, but what's the fun in that? I'm gonna trigger the stun. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna pick up the Drake with my smite, and I'm gonna go ahead and chase Talon. Now I do something kind of dumb here. I flashed to get the kill. I didn't really have to. I could have just killed him, but I didn't want Annie to KS me. Just because, let's face it, she's not doing anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and start farming. Nice try, Ash. Nice try. And I'm not gonna notice that Annie is getting butt fucked by everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show him how awesome Jax is. Ash, you're gone. Trundle, what's up? You got nothing. I got lifesteal. I got spellvamp. What do you got? You got a ugly face. By the way, I can't wait for the Trundle rework. In the meantime, fuck you, Trundle. Summoners. Jungling Jax, you wanna go with Flash to chase, to make even a better chaser, or escape, and obviously Smite. Smite as a jungler, duh. If you're going for laning Jax, why the fuck did the video slow down? If you're going for laning Jax, obviously Ignite is gonna do wonders, and so will Barrier. You could pick up Flash, but Barrier can actually get you out of a lot of sticky situations, I've noticed with Flash. Nunu, being the masturbator, is gonna go ahead and bring us Talon, the only person dealing damage in that team. We're gonna pick up Trundle, Rumble. I'm gonna get those mixed up until the day I die. We're gonna pick up Talon, and we're gonna just keep going and pushing the towers. We could end the game. We could just do a Circle Rush or something. But as many of you know, the best way to win in League of Legends is to secure the 3 inhibitors. I mean, most of the time, it's really freaking hard to come back from destroying all 3 freaking inhibitors. Usually people don't know how to deal with it, and the super minions will actually deal a lot of damage. And it is also worth noting that every time you take down an inhibitor from lane, the minions that travel through that lane will get more HP and more attack damage. So not only does it give you super minions, but it makes the regular minions stronger. That being said, go for the inhibitors. That will usually guarantee a win. In most cases, unless you throw really hard, you will win the match. So as you can see on my build, I picked up the Rage Blade, which is gonna make my attack speeches, which is gonna make my W deal a lot of damage, and it's gonna make my attack speed just increase with every basic attack more and more and more. And that on top of my passive is just gonna make me gain a lot of attack speed and giving me AP. A really good item. Sadly, there's only a couple of champions that use it. Kale and Jax mainly. But it's really good. We're going to go ahead and just pick up a quick berry. I'm going to pop my ultimate because why not? And Lux is going to try to be sneaky, but you know she kind of jumped the gun on that one. And I'm going to smite Baron, and we're going to go and push their base. By the way, I don't think I die in this game. No, I don't. I'm 11-0 actually. So Jax overall is just freaking incredible. I mean, I love Jax. I love Gangplank, and I love Jax. They're I don't want to say they're similar because they're not, but they're similar in the way that they can just bring a lot of utility to the team while dealing a lot of damage. I guess that's a similarity that those two champions have. I'm going to go ahead and look at this damage. Boom. That was like the W on top of the Q, by the way. Just the AP scaling is just incredible. And we're going to go ahead and start just wailing away on the Nexus, and we're going to win this game because I'm Jax. And since Darius got nerfed, Jax, take over the League of Legends. I'm calling it right now. Jax is going to get nerfed soon. He's really strong right now. Peace.